also dissecting some social issues trending all around the world. And today we are going to be looking at, we'll go through. Of course, we are in the FCTA, the FCT, and we'll also be stretching our hands to different parts of the nation, including around the world. I am Ogot Kumobno. All right, to be part of this conversation, like I always say, watch on DSTV channel 365, or you can also watch on Star Times channel 276. Or to be part of this conversation properly by dropping your thoughts, please make sure that you're watching on YouTube so you can drop your thoughts. We want to see your thoughts while you share, and click on the bell icon. It's going to notify you whenever we come your way. Do not forget to subscribe. That's the only way you have to be part of this conversation fully. Subscribe to Global TV NG, click on the bell icon, and it's going to notify you whenever we come your way, so that you don't miss out on any trending conversation here on Social Buzz. All right, let's get right into business. And the first topic for today is that the Industrial Court has ordered FCTA workers to suspend ongoing strike. That means go back to work. All right, Justice Emmanuel Sobelim of the National Industrial Court has ordered the striking workers of the Federal Capital Territory to suspend the ongoing industrial actions pending the hearing and determination of the originating summons. Justice Sobelim gave the order while ruling on an application filed by the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, seeking an order compelling the striking FCTA workers to return to work. The FCT minister sued the president and the secretary of the Joint Union Action Congress, GUAC, over the strike. In the ruling delivered on the 27th of January, which was yesterday, the court held that industrial action, even a strike, must be suspended when the dispute has been referred to the National Industrial Court. According to the court, though the FCT labor force has the constitutional right to embark on an industrial action, such right is not absolute. Referencing Section 18(1)(b) of the Trade Dispute Act, Justice Sobelim stressed that in a trade dispute, workers could not embark on a strike over a matter already referred to the Industrial Court for adjudication. He held that in a situation where the workers had already commenced a strike over a matter that is in court, such action must cease. Okay, now we're learning very fast. Subsequently, the court ordered the protesting workers to immediately suspend their strike and report to duty. The court adjourns till 25th March for hearing. All right, I would like us to listen so much to this video, and where they are saying go back to work. But words on the streets, like I said, is people are still saying we are not going back to work until our voice is heard and until something is done about it. And also, they feel like the reason for the protest is just for salary. But I think there's more to it. It's not just because of payment of salary. Yes, the Minister of FCT says, okay, we have already prepared January salary and it's not a problem, and other salaries too will be met, so if they've not paid anybody. But then the issue is beyond just salary. Some persons are of the opinion that out of over 6,000 persons who wrote the promotion exam, only 2,000 passed the exams, and they're questioning that that particular mark. How can just 2,000 after over 6,000 persons that sat for that exam, how can just 2,000 pass the exam? So they are questioning the form of evaluation. What exactly, how did they evaluate these people? What exactly was put in place? What is the benchmark? What are they supposed to do? Why is it just 2,000? And I'm sure for them to raise this kind of alarm, I think maybe that's the first time it's happening. So everyone is kind of saying some things, it's not supposed to be so. Why is it happening like that? I think that's the concern there, not just the fact that salary has not been paid. Okay, all right, so let's take a look at some comments on social media and know what exactly people are saying concerning this particular topic. And the first Comment is coming from Stan Dollars, and Stan Dollars says the government demands strict obedience to court orders from citizens but rarely adheres to the same rulings themselves, allegedly. He said allegedly. It's good that you put allegedly so you don't be held for things that you are not, that you're not sure of, when you don't have facts to things, you have to put it like allegedly. It's not like for sure that this is it, okay? All right, the next comment is coming from Uncle Echo, and Uncle Echo says, the court can no longer make judgments like the minister should make immediate payment of the salaries of the workers. Which kind order be that? Does the law of Nigeria support non-payment of workers' salaries? Like I said earlier, no. I don't think that is the case. The law doesn't support, non-payment of worker salary. Of course, every worker is, entitled to their wages. If you work, you will get paid. So no law supports anything like that. It's nothing. There's nothing like that, and there's never not anything like that. Okay. All right. The third comment is coming from Gist with Dami, and Gist with Dami says, and he adjourned it till end of March. It shows this judgment is not in the best interest of the workers, and that is sad. Yes. So earlier in the morning we were talking about it, and we said for something like this to happen, it's more like yes, it's more like the judgments a bit tilted, towards one side and doesn't favor the workers. And I'm so glad that this kind of comment came up, that it's looking this way, because they just started this protest. And it is not just salary. They have so many other things. It's more like you're not letting them express their grievances. They should come out to talk about it. But now you're shutting them up by saying, we are joining this case till March, and you have to go back to work. And these people are a bit powerless at this point. Because if they don't go back to work, there is penalty for it. And if you lose your job because you are protesting for your rights, what court are you supposed to go to? Same industrial court. And if the court already said, oh, yes, I told you guys, go back to work, and you refuse, so you're one of the persons who faulted court order, so there's nothing we can do about it, because that's just it. So right now, I think the hands of the FCTA workers are all tied. They don't know what to do. So you just have to go back to work. No more carrying placards everywhere and running helter-skelter and looking for what is not looking for you. I'm so sorry I'm saying this, but honestly, it's the right of these people, and the right must, be met. That's the case. So let's look forward to March, where, the case has been adjourned to, and let's see what exactly the outcome of this adjournment will be, and what exactly the judge is going to be saying. Is it going to be against or for the favor of the FCTA workers? So till then, but for now, please, let's all go back to work. Respect the law, and let's respect court order. If the court says go back to work, let's try to go back to work and make sure that we rely on the court, and we are hoping that, yes, it's in the favor of the FCTA workers, of course. All right, secondly, let's move over to the next topic for the day. And this one is a lady who has shared a controversial post on Facebook. So a lady on Facebook shared a post, and this lady is named Stella Justice Ninaya on Facebook. She said, if your husband threatens DNA test on your children and you know they are his, let him do it. Once it comes out positive, go straight to the lawyer, file a civil claim for breach of trust, and ask for 100 million naira as compensation. Marriage is not a testing ground for suspicion. Let him test, let him confirm, but don't let him get away with breaking your trust. Case closed. No room for appeal. All right, so we've seen cases like this come up. Like, they come up almost every day, and recently, I think last year, we had a lot of them when it comes to DNA test and all of that. A lot of complaints. I'm sure lawyers have seen a lot of complaints like this filed on their decks, asking for, right to go check for DNA tests, and, to confirm if the children they have is theirs and all of that. And again, something came up recently on social media where someone said, a man raised this topic, saying that most first-born child of many families are not originally the biological child of the husband. I don't know how true that is, but that's his own. I think that there's no facts, there's nothing to back up that particular quote, honestly, from that young man. So, and this is someone saying, if he's threatening you to go on a DNA test, please go with him and make sure that when he's done, you know, sue him for breach of trust and take your 100 million naira. Okay, now this is it. What if he sees, I don't think anyone is going to say, oh, let me go and test if my child is my child, or if my son is my son, or my daughter is my daughter. There must have been some kind of, you know, suspicious movement that the father has seen and said, oh, this person doesn't look like me, this person doesn't act like me, and I need to go check. I remember when I was growing up one time, I did something, and my mom, after beating me, she was like, I need to go and check if I was the one that gave birth to you. This is my mother. You can imagine my mom saying that. I don't know if they exchanged you in the hospital. She said that out of anger, I get. But she was like, you don't behave like anybody in the house. We need to check if we gave birth to you. I want to know. Maybe I'll go and ask the nurse. That day I laughed. At the same time, I was angry because I said, so if you're not the one who gave birth to me, take me back. Take me back to the hospital where you gave birth to me and ask the nurse. I hope the nurse will still be alive. Ask her where and what happened, you know, during my birth, and if they exchanged me. And you know what I said to her? I said, in fact, when you take me back, you'll find out that my parents are very rich. They are super rich, and I will not be in your house anymore because I'm washing plates. And okay, now I remember, I actually washed plate, but I didn't wash it well, so you could still see oil. You know, I know how hard it is to remove oil from all of that, you know, disposable plates, and you know, so she saw it and she was angry because they've corrected me like several times and I kept on making that same mistake. I just want to rush up and maybe go do my own business, and she said that out of anger, and I kept saying, yes, take me back. So I know that sometimes parents can say this, you know, out of anger. Maybe you do some things and they feel like, oh, this child is not behaving like me, he's not behaving like the mother, he's not behaving like the father. Okay, fine, we'll go and check if you are my child. But then aside this, sometimes it's not like your spouse doesn't trust you, not like the husband doesn't trust you, but there are some characters, characters the child portrayed, and you are asking yourself, where is this character coming from? Aside character, you're looking at the child, you're not seeing anything, no resemblance, nothing to say, oh, he has my head, he has my nose, he has my eyes, nothing like that, no skin color, nothing. Of course, you should be asking questions, because if that child is yours, then they should take one or two. Your gene should be strong enough to, you know, replicate something just like yours. Either the eyes, the hair, the mouth, the looks, something should be there. Some persons will tell you, oh, this child looks so much like the mother. But the mother will tell you, don't worry, look at the feet. The feet is that of the father. The face, everything could be mine, but the feet is that of the father. So something. So if your husband is telling you, this child is not mine, please look very well and ask yourself. I understand that sometimes children can even be exchanged in the hospital. Yes, we've heard several complaints of children being exchanged in the hospitals. Sometimes negligence, mistakes from nurses, doctors, and sometimes it's just, sometimes they just sell your child. I don't know why, but they just pick your child, sell your child, and maybe give you something else. And you take home and the child start giving you problems. So I think that's just it. But suing your husband for 100 million naira compensation, I don't know. But would you be trying that? You watching me back at home. If this should be your case, would you really sue your husband for 100 million naira for breach of trust? Well, we're definitely going to find out when you drop your comments using our Global TV NG on YouTube. Let's see your comments and let's take them and know what exactly you think of this. But before you drop your comment, or before we take your comments, we're going to be taking comments from other social media platforms. And this one is coming from Gina Foodies and Spice. And Gina says, there's always a loophole you can find and use. There's always a loophole you can find and use to your advantage. The only problem is adjournment. You guys can keep appearing until somebody disappears. Okay, she's talking about court there, Gina. That's a funny one. You keep appearing in court and they keep adjourning the case until someone disappears at the end of the day for 100 million naira. All right, the next comment we're taking is from Goldilocks. And Goldilocks says, which I think she's about to say, she's supposed to say, or she wanted to say, which Yeye lawsuit. So, yes, which Yeye lawsuit? Let him find his own and know peace, and you self know peace and feel respect. Yes, for me, I don't think there's any lawsuit. Of course, I'll get angry that you didn't trust me, but at the same time, yes, let's go. When you find out on your own and you are comfortable, then you have to pay for damages though. Because yes, I feel bad. So definitely damages can come in form of a handbag, gifting me something I like, taking me out for a dinner date, or gifting me something really good. Or you can even buy a house. You can buy me a house. You can do one or two things just to make me feel good, just like a form of apology. But yes, it's not a problem, okay? I don't know why people see DNA testing as a problem. It's not supposed to be a problem. All right, the third comment from this topic is coming from the Food Networking. And the Food Networking says, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you have to run a DNA test on your kids, you had no business marrying that woman, because if you have such level of mistrust, trust me, DNA can come back positive. But if she no letter by you, make her know it's you one cause. This is the one we call ambassador of violence. Come on, it's not that deep, okay? All right, the last comments from this topic is from IQ Man. IQ Man says, kids are swapped every day in the hospital, so it's not only about trusting someone. That's it. They swap your kids. What would you do about it? Nothing. Until you, maybe the kids start growing up, you start finding out some traits, and you say, no, this is not my child. But it's almost too late, because you've had this kind of bond, this closeness with the child, and you can't even let the child go. You can't kill the child. And that's why sometimes when some men find out that the children are no longer theirs, they can't even send the children back, because they've established a form of bond with these kids from when they were infants to the age where they are right now. So they can't even say, start going back to your mother, or who is your father, even when they say it, go back to your father, they still have, there's this closeness you've already established, and it's so difficult letting go. It's just so painful that yes, it's not your child, but you still don't have anything to do about it. Okay, all right, lastly, let's move over to the last topic for today, and it's traders singing praises to Nnamdi Kanu in Onitsha market. So the state's governor, Charles Soludo, had on Monday, January 26, ordered the closure of the market for 1 week after the traders obeyed the sit-at-home order by IPOB and failed to open their shops on Monday. We all know that they usually, don't like opening their shop, or they don't open their shop on Monday due to the sit-at-home, request that they all sit at home on Mondays. So IPOB ordered a total shutdown of business activities in the Southeast in solidarity of its incarcerated leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Let's take a look at that video.
Holy, holy.
All right, so that's the video there, all chanting the praise of Nnamdi Kanu. I think they have strong followers. They are saying, no, if you like, tell us to close our shops for 1 week. We are going to be here and sing praises. But then, is it a very good decision closing the market for 1 week? We all know that Onitsha market is a very big market. I must tell you that people travel from far and near to that market. People from the north go to Onitsha market, yes. That's how big that market is, because you have a lot of goods to buy. Some people even from outside the country, not in Nigeria, you see places like Benin, Republic, and close African countries come to Onitsha market to buy. That's the truth. So and that market, sort of generates more revenue for them. So closing the market for a space of 1 week, I don't know, businessmen, how is it? It's not just for traders who own shop in Onitsha market. What about the businessmen who are stuck, whose goods are stuck and they need their goods immediately? So what do we say about that? See, a very good thing that, yes, the governor is asking that they shut down the market for 1 week. Is it a good one? Please, I would like you to, drop your thoughts on social media. All right, let's quickly take some comments and as regards this. And the first comment is coming from DJ Cross Official, and Cross says, "Prove Soludo is right. They are sitting at home on Monday intentionally." Okay, to respect their IPOB leader. All right, second comment coming from Kalechi Kashmir, and Kalechi says, "I respect their clear sense of reality. They understand that the Southeast matters more to them than Nigeria, and that Nnamdi Kanu represents their collective voice. Solidarity forever." All right, that's it. They're all talking about solidarity and all of that, but my thought exactly is the business part. Yes, I am a business person, so my thought is the business part. Is it a good choice? Was that a very good choice that they shut down the market for 1 week? Please tell me what you think in the comment section, because for me, I don't think it's a good choice. I think the market should be open as quick as possible, because a lot of persons are losing money. Businessmen are all waiting for their goods. So shutting down the market is no good for the people of Anambra State, Onitsha, and even Nigeria as a whole. All right, that's all we have for you today on Social Buzz Extra. If we had more time, we would have taken more stories, but do not worry. We're always here to give you trending issues around the world. So make sure that if you're just coming in, do not worry, you can join on YouTube, Global TV NG, and make sure that you drop your comments there. Until I come your way next time, I am Ogochukwu Mopno. Please stay safe and bye for now.
When social media speaks,